we are at the moment in a cycle of life where everybody, if you're just a little bit aware, you can feel something is shifting. Some people are not willing to maybe adapt to the change. Some people are not strong enough to adapt to the change. Some people don't know how to put it into practice in order to go with the change. It is my perspective. There will come the time, and it's not going to take long, where a natural separation is going to take place, a natural separation. The ones that are able to read the signs, that are able to go with what is happening, to adapt to the changes this world is bringing to us, they will move on to another world. They will move on to another area, to another cycle of us humans being right now here on the earth. And other people that are unwilling, unable, maybe incapable of adapting to the coming changes. It is simple like this. They will stay with the old world, which is about to end. That's the message. That's all what this is about. An old era is about to come to an end. A new era is about to come. This is worldwide happening. It's happening inside our monastery. It's happening inside of me.
All right, greetings in Lakesh. Welcome to our session on our New Kin orientation to help you get familiar with your galactic purpose through your galactic signature. So this is an incredible time for us as we are nearing the Gregorian New Year. I think it's extremely important for us to position ourselves and our minds to advance in ways it hadn't before. And so you are truly in for a treat, whether you're seasoned or someone who is intrigued by going deeper into your mind and accessing parts of your memory that you have forgotten. It's extremely important that as we all seek to evolve, it's a journey of remembrance. And what I realize is that you evolve from memory to memory. The memory in your brain or the membranes help activate levels of consciousness that you can access so that you can be a more dynamic form in this body. And so it is an honor to be a human on the planet at this time. It is an honor to be able to journey with you on this journey of remembrance. And I tell you, if what you experience is anything like I experienced when I first got tapped into this, you are truly in for a treat and for the ride of your life. So let's go ahead and get started and make some acknowledgments. And so with the acknowledgments, I definitely want to ensure that, let's see, there we go, that we make acknowledgments to the source of all creation, the earth, Mother Earth. We need to make some acknowledgments on Mother Earth. We also want to make some acknowledgments to the ancestors, star elders, the Foundation for the Law of Time, Jewel University of Immortal Sciences, our Melanin Six master teachers, the Mimic Priesthood, indigenous elders, etc. We are so grateful for those that have paved the path for me and others to come and evolve from this science, but more importantly, have a heart of gold and share it with other people who are aspiring to advance themselves beyond the norm. I want to start with the prayer of the 7 galactic directions, and it goes like this. From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us so we may see. all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. And from the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Hayum Hunapku Eva Maya Maho. Hayum Hunapku Eva Maya Maho. Hayum Hunapku Eva Maya Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. And so it is. All right. All right. And so I am Neb Taharka Kanish Kawak, and I am the founder and chancellor of a new type of online school we call the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. This school that we started a year and a half ago is designed for us to evolve deeper into our memory and access greater states of consciousness so that we can demonstrate that consciousness in the body and change our reality accordingly. So we're very excited about that. We have a number of different classes dealing with the law of time, the law of holonomy, which states we are systems inside of larger systems, but we're all connected energetically. We're connected to the planet energetically. We're connected to the galaxy, the universe, the multiverse, the cosmos, all connected through a field of consciousness. And so what we want to do is tap into that field of consciousness and use its power to help us fulfill our galactic purpose while clearing up our galactic karma. That's what we want to do. It sounds deep, but it's not as deep as you think. And so what we do once every Thursday, we do something called New Kin Orientation. And we got 4 modules. We're going to do module 2 today. And the purpose of this is to help you familiarize yourself with your galactic kin number, right? One of the 260 expressions of the Creator. But here's something else that's really important for you to know in terms of purpose. That you become familiar and energetically connected with the source of all creation and be able, after this session, to open your mind to the infinite mind wave of possibilities and probabilities so you can evolve on this planet. That's the goal. This is what we're opening the gateway to right here and right now. And so myself and Moon Goddess Ambrosia, who also does an incredible job. I know she's on today, and we alternate and we do this as a team together to help equip and inform people the tools that they know. Let me tell you where all of this kind of stems from. I started myself studying and teaching this about 9 years ago. What fascinated me about this, listen, I had no interest in the galactic Maya. I didn't know what the Olmec cosmology is, or the original Mexicans called the She people. I didn't know any of that. I didn't even care about it. But they said something to me that opened my mind a different way. And this may also happen to you, whether you're new to the cosmology or you've been dibbling and dabbling in it, or you want to ready to dive all the way in. And what they said is, they said this civilization, they studied 17 up to 17 different calendrical systems. I said, now why on earth would somebody have 17 different calendars that they were studying? And so I couldn't put it together. But then they said, that from these calendars, their mind became more sophisticated and they were able to do things like time travel. I said, get out of here. You got to be. Where's the camera? You know, am I being. What? Come on, man. Come on. We only see that in the movies, right? Time travel, clairvoyance, clairaudience, extrasensory ability. They were able to tap. Really interesting. They were able to see star Sirius and other star systems without a telescope. And so I was really in disbelief at the beginning. I said, wait. So that made me investigate to see how could that possibly be true. Now, again, I was intrigued 9 years ago, but I didn't know back then what I know now. And now just understanding that the brain and the mind are different. You know, we used to have a saying that said, once your mind has been stretched, it can never go back to its original state. And so I used to think if it was your brain was stretched, it could never go back to its original state, because I thought the brain and the mind were the same. Let me tell you something. Nothing could be further from the truth. The brain is the instrument, if you look at it this way, that processes, right? Memories, that processes consciousness, right? And the mind is a field of consciousness that the brain can access and process on many different levels. And those different levels play out in our reality based on what we're experiencing and based on what our focus is. Now, there are a lot of things out here, but when I started to see the breakdown of how this worked, it made me more intentional about why I need to tap into my own mind, because what we're being told in society is we need to tap into more computer systems and more sophisticated computer systems. We need to get more memory for these computer systems. If you just thought about no computer, the mind is the software. Let me tell you something. You would become so intelligent on this earth that you would be ungovernable. Nobody would be able to govern your mental. Nobody would be able to colonize you. Nobody would be able to enslave you. Nobody would be able to have you work just over broke. Nobody would be able to have you a slave in a relationship. Nobody, I mean nobody, because there's levels of consciousness where you won't even be able to have a disease, or you'll be able to heal yourself the higher that you go. So I became fascinated with that, and I have total belief and assurance in everything that we're teaching and talking about. And some of you are looking for a new way. Some of you are looking for to empower yourself in ways that you hadn't. And I'm gonna tell you, it takes a couple steps, because once you know what to do, you got to do what you know, and you got to do what you know, not in a vacuum, but in a field of resistance from artificial mechanisms and technologies that you got to navigate through with your new gifts. And that's how you get good and powerful with this information. But there's a few steps. So I want to introduce you to that concept and trying to give some structure to how consciousness works with the law of time and the different tools that we use to facilitate this type of experience. We're talking about extrasensory and telepathic and these mind type experiences that we're talking about. Is that okay? All right, so let's get into it. All right, first and foremost, what is your KIN number and the city you're logged in from? So if you're new to this, don't worry about your KIN number. We'll get you your KIN number. That's like your galactic passport. You see, when you got a galactic consciousness, your presence on the earth becomes far different. You're not a number anymore. You're not expendable. You've been sent to the earth for a divine mission, and now you're aware of it. Now it's just a matter of fulfilling those instructions. Okay, so in the chat, tell us where you're tuning in from, because you never know. One of the biggest things, the people who are looking for higher science and furthering their knowledge, their biggest complaint is, I don't have nobody to talk to. And you might have somebody right in your city or in the next city that's willing to do so. Now, right now, I am doing this broadcast from St. Paul, Minnesota area. We have Houston, Texas online. We have Dreamy Pisces tuning in from Virginia. We can see who people in the West Coast or in IG, what they are actually focusing in on. So it's really powerful. Mutable Mermaid, I think she's out of St. Louis. And so we want to now create a community within a community that's looking to advance ourselves like this, because we can always propel off the flap of the wings from the bird next to us versus all the energy being put on our own. All right, Suffolk, Virginia in the house. All right, Ambrosia, Moon Goddess Ambrosia, VA in the house, Bianca, Ken 41, ATL in the house. So you want to put, wait, this ain't a secret society, right? You want to be able to put on there because y'all can connect online and potentially be able to study together and discuss these concepts and be able to vibe off of one another and advance yourself more quickly than you could by yourself. That's what happened to me when I first got into this science. I met some very, very, very highly intelligent individuals, and we start talking about this, and we start talking about the spiritual practices we were doing, the mental practices. Oh, you doing that? Okay, you got to do this like this. And before you know it, we were all advancing very quickly. All right, K Few out of Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome, welcome. Adila Ken 163 from H-Town. K Few is Ken 86. All right. Ken 164. We had a galactic return yesterday. Thank you. Shan, the sun goddess. All right. So we're talking about concepts that help us evolve. And let me tell you, if you're not talking about purpose and evolving, what you're doing is not only becoming obsolete, but it's becoming a point where you're regressing instead of progressing before you even get started. If it doesn't have purpose and you're unable to evolve from it, if you don't have an orderly format, a cosmology that supports your evolution, let me explain something to you. It's going to be very difficult to progress and evolve because technology, which is controlling our mind more than anything, unless we break the chains, right? Technology is evolving faster than we are. And so we become more dependent on it. And the more dependent we become on it, the more that we're unable to advance past it. All right. Pin to Love from Philadelphia, Philly. Thanks for joining in. All right. So let's go ahead and now let's talk about who are we. We are a progressive group of cosmic beings. And we've recognized that are highly intelligent, intuitive, telepathic, and laser beam focused on what? Evolving throughout the journey of remembrance to fulfill our galactic purpose. Stick to the script. It's going to be a lot of illusions. It's going to be a lot of things, problems, circumstances that will come into play to try to trick you and make you think you're not evolving. But every challenge that you come in contact with is an opportunity for you to show your greatness. Once you shake off the sting from shock or whatever your circumstances are bringing, you remember that you can operate at a level of consciousness that far supersedes and is far more powerful than what you're experiencing. And once you make that realization and actualization, you now are not going to just change your circumstances. You're not going to change your circumstances. You're going to change you, and your circumstances are going to change. Isn't that powerful? Your circumstances are going to change. You can't change your circumstances without changing you. All right. So we are online based in Atlanta, founded in 2023 in July. And you know, anybody around the world can tap into the classes. We just upgraded to 13 courses being offered now from 12. The law of time and this relationship to nature is very important in freeing our mind from the artificial construct. And we deal in whole mind concepts that help us continuously improve our self-image, because it's our self-image that's going to give us permission to triumph over any circumstance. There's some economic initiatives that's coming real soon. We're looking forward to that. A synchronistic human, where synchronistic human school of enlightenment is someone who's able to be multidimensional. We already are, we just not being that, while unifying energy from the synchronicities of natural time cycles towards the holonomic evolution of humanity, Mother Earth, and the galactic whole. Okay, a synchronistic human is using the power of synchronicity versus, right, the reductionism of programs that are artificial, that expire while we are attempting to inspire. All right. Synchronicity refers to the underlying cosmic intelligence that synchronizes people, places, events into a meaningful, or I call it the synchronic order. We experience synchronicity when an outer event corresponds with our inner thoughts and we become aware of it, and perceptions, how we see things, and how we feel about those perceptions, thoughts, and dispositions. All right. So on our first phase of this, we were introducing people to their galactic kin numbers. So some of you might be looking at this for the first time. You didn't get to see this on the last time that we did this, was actually class number 1. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick review. Okay, and what we're going to review, this is review from session 1, which was last week, or we call heptad, is understanding what your galactic signature is. So the day you were born on the 13 moon calendar, and I'm going to flash that up to you in a second, because I want you to know when I say 13 moon calendar, the Gregorian calendar is obsolete as it relates to your ability to evolve. Okay, the Gregorian calendar is for capitalism. The time is money paradigm. And so when you come into an evolved spiritual state, you know time is not money. Time is the evolution of consciousness. Money helps on this physical plane, but money doesn't help you evolve. It just helps you buy more things. It helps you cope better. I'm not saying money isn't important, because money is very important, but there are things that rank higher than money, like your spirituality, like the things that are important to you, like your children, okay, and your children's children. But the Gregorian calendar is an artificial construct of 12 months, because, I call this because it really doesn't have a tie to any cosmic cycles except the solar cycle, how long it takes the Earth to revolve around the sun. When I saw that the 13 moon calendar, it mimics the cycles of the moon revolving around the sun, and those 13 cycles are connected to the female avatar and the menstruation patterns of the female. I said, now we got some real energetic and physical connections that when aligned properly, there's nothing we can't manifest. This is an introduction into that. So the 13 moon calendar is coded, right, by your galactic signature. So now what is this galactic signature? Your galactic signature is one of the 260 expressions of the creator that comes in the form of possibilities encoded into the 260-day calendar we call the Zolkin, the total kin. We know what kin is. I had people ask me, what kin? You know what kin folk is, but now we're talking about your galactic kin. So to understand this concept, we have to believe that we came from the ethers, from the etheric realm, from the spiritual realm, and incarnated with the physical body. What expression, when we got into the physical realm, that we incarnate out of the 260 possibilities encoded as the 260 expressions of the creator. Now, let me tell you this. By playing and accepting the role of your galactic signature, you allow yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit to vibrate at that particular frequency, I want you to write this down. Frequency equals currency. Frequency equals currency. So whatever is showing up in your life, I've had some good things and some bad things happen, even to myself. I can chalk it up as that what's showing up right now is resembling a frequency that either I've addressed or I am addressing, that's leaving my energetic field and drawing in higher frequencies as we speak, to be able to magnetize and orchestrate certain experiences on the earth that I can't at the lower frequencies. Okay? Now what happens? When to vibrate to that particular frequency, and what happens is your heart helps you to broadcast it out to everyone around you. This is why compassion is so important. It is your heart of hearts that has more electrical impulses than the brain, that was formulated in the fetus before the brain. Okay, even though the brain is important, to change your mind now that it's been programmed, you got to have a change of heart. You have to let go of some things you are really tied to emotionally, and that's really hard for people to do. So they keep on manifesting and creating what they've always created. Okay, so what is your birthday? Now this is your gift to the world. This is your gift to the world. What is your birthday? So when you figure out your birthday, if you're a new person, if you want to put your birth date in there, we'll tell you what your galactic signature is. You just put your birth date in there and watch what's going to happen. I dare you to do it. Right? What's your birthday? Now mine is June 16th, 1972. All right. And then when I pulled mine up, it said that I was kin number 239 out of 260. And I was, the title for that expression was called the Blue Overtone World Changer, or the Blue Overtone Storm. I said, what is this overtone tone thing? And it dealt with radiance. And so when I got mine, I'll read my, it comes with a galactic signature, and I'm gonna read you today's signature. So when I got mine, it just resonated. Let me read it to you. It said, Kin 239, Blue Overtone Storm. I empower in order to catalyze. I said, this is sounding real good. I like to be empowered, and I like to see people empower themselves. Keep coming. The next line said, commanding energy. So I'm always talking to myself, commanding, push harder, do this, do that. I said, okay, that resonates. Right? I seal the matrix of self-generation. So I always was self-motivated. So that resonated. With the overtone tone of radiance. And I always felt that I had a kind of a electrical charge to me. Like I could get people charged up, right? And then I'm guided by the power of accomplishment. I said, man, I love accomplishing stuff. This makes sense. And they told me to rememberize it. And so I memorized it that day. I didn't play. I didn't play around. So if this is true, if this is so powerful, I'm going hard in the paint. I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. And immediately, I just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. And I don't know exactly what happened or when it happened, but it triggered my mind in a certain way to keep going deeper and deeper until now I can't go back. My mind has been expanded to the point it can never go back to its last state, not just its original state. All right. So what's your birth date? You know, I could check and see on Instagram what your birth date is. But you want to get your birthday because you want to get your galactic signature and see how that ties into the galactic plan. You see, we got these little minuscule plans on Earth, and they're okay, but there's a galactic plan that's going on. There's some things that's happening in this sector of the galaxy. They have to get corrected from past karma and all this kind of stuff. And so your purpose is bigger than I'm traveling the world, or I'm gonna be a doctor, or I'm gonna be an advocate for this group or that group. It goes beyond that. And once you are able to do that, to see beyond, then you're able to orchestrate those other things a lot more simpler because you come in with more brain power. Okay. So Pin to Love, hers is 8755. So when we do that, that translates into Kin 86. All right. So if you're a new person and you'd like to know what it is, and if you get the replay on this, just message us and we'll get you that, explain to you some of the things according to the galactic signature that you should be focused on in this day and age. Okay. So that's what we did. Now today's archetype is the 5th archetype, all right, out of 20. All right, so there's 20 archetypes and there's 13 different stages of consciousness through tonality. We call them the 13 tones of creation. And when you multiply 20 archetypes times 13 tones, it goes deeper, but this is my surface version. You get the 260 expressions of the creator. So this one is married with this solar tone. So we have the archetype, which is called the serpent. The serpent initiative is very, very wise. Why? Because it uses its instincts because it can't see, smell, hear, or touch. It follows heat and instincts and survives. No arms, no legs, no fingers, no toes, nothing. Right? And so the kin number is 165. Right? We already said the archetype is the 5th archetype, the serpent. And so when we take the name of it, the red solar serpent, let's break that down. Red, the color red initiates. So anytime we're talking about from the cosmological standpoint, red, we're talking about we're initiating something. What did you initiate today? What should you initiate today? So if you got up and read this early in the dawning, this should be part of your morning ritual. Say, oh, I need to be initiating something. All right. The solar tone pulses, which is a sign of life. So a pulse realizes the intention. So what gives something life is what is the power of your intention? What do you intend to do? What do you intend to be today? The serpent initiative, it has 3 attributes, right? The power of life force, survives instincts. All right. So this is powerful because your life force survives because of instincts. So your instincts can get you out of a jam, right? So this kin, those who are born with this kin are very instinctual, but the question is, and the problem comes is, can you in this day and age trust your instincts? We'll trust Google, we'll trust TikTok, even though it may be coming off and changing form. But do you and will you trust your own instincts? And if you do, your life force will survive and thrive because your instincts are here to inform you at a much deeper psychic level than any logic can. It defies logic. Let's go ahead and read the full affirmation now that we got the breakdown. It states, right? Kin 65, red solar serpent, I pulse in order to survive. Realizing instincts. Because you realize that you got instinct. I seal the power, the store of life force with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of birth. All right, we're having a rebirth today. A new birth today. So we say this 3 times, 2 more times to imprint it in our mind and heart to lock it in. I pulse in order to survive, realizing instinct. I seal the store of life force with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of birth. 1 more time to lock it in. I pulse in order to survive, realizing instinct. I seal the store of life force with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of birth. And I am a galactic activated portal in order to survive, realizing instinct, life force, the tone of intention, and the power of birth into me. When we define the portal, we're telling a greater consciousness to enter us so that we can guide ourselves through this earthly experience. And this is very different. The more you read into this, the more nuggets you find. Then it's Wednesday, it's hump day. If you can get excited about hump day, you can get excited about this because this is giving you a more deeper dive energetically into what you operating with on a galactic energy level. Okay, so that's the affirmation. If you were born today, if somebody is given birth today, this will be their kin number. Okay, and so once you understand your kin number is kind of the key that unlocks the galactic consciousness to help you operate in your whole mind. It's the trigger, it's the key. Because once you open it up, you can't act like you don't see what you're going to see. It opens up your whole mind. It opens up all the memories. And it can be overwhelming. So you open up a little bit and you shut it. You open up a little bit more and you shut it. Right? And then before you long, you keep it open. And that becomes your guide to help you through all these seemingly difficult things going on the planet. All right, so the assignment for the first heptad or the first week is to recite your galactic signature daily. Now, if you don't have your signature memorized, stop playing around and memorize it today. Write it down and keep saying it. I was drilling my son on times tables, and we don't do 12 timetables. Do you do your 12th timetable? We do 21s. It makes your mind think different to do 21. With 21 times 21, 441, Papa. What's 21 times 20? It's 420, Papa. And so he messed up some, but we're doing 21s. We're not doing 20s. We're not making our minimums, our maximums no more when we got access to all this memory. What are you going to do? You going to be average with unlimited memory? Or you going to be unlimited? You ain't even got a name for it yet. Excellent don't work. Amazing don't work. Superfragilist espialidocious doesn't work. Because it ain't no name for it, because it's infinite. Right? So recite your galactic signature, remember it, say it every day. Say it every day, memorize it, and record any insights. Even meditate on it to see what insights come about. And jot them down. And so, it's interesting because you're going to find the synchronicity. And we say, follow the synchronicities, not the problems. All right. All right. So some of the topics we're going to discover now, we covered the where you're logging in from, who are we, the kid of the plasma. We did the review. Now we're going to talk about something called wave spells. Now, don't get spooked out about wave spells because you got the gospel. It's all kinds of spells, right? But the wave spell is dealing with a cycle of evolution. And as your mind connects with that, your mind is going to be triggered to what? Evolve. See, when your mind is triggered to be angry, what does it do? It gets angry. When your mind gets triggered to be sad because of a memory of a lost one, it gets sad. When your mind gets triggered to evolve, guess what it does? It evolves and it supersedes what you're experiencing in this moment that's troubling you. And then there's always an assignment so that the application of it can make it practical. So we're in a time where we're celebrating a calendar that's obsolete. We're about to move into the first of the year and New Year's Eve. Even though we got greater consciousness, some of us are still going to be celebrating an obsolete calendar. And I'm going to be celebrating the end of false time. That's what I'm going to be celebrating on July 31st. And when they say 10, 9, 8, I'm going to be celebrating the end of false time. And some of you going to take this seriously. And when you end that blockage, you're going to open up your mind in ways you never thought you could. And what they say, God wouldn't take you through something you couldn't handle. So even if you're afraid, and you've been afraid before, and so have I, you can handle it. I say. All right, so let's talk about the Tzolk'in calendar. The wave spell comes from the Tzolk'in calendar, and the wave spell deals with 13s. We're going to start with the 13-day cycle. It could be a 13-moon cycle. It could be a 13-month cycle or moon cycle. Like we follow 13 moons, it could be a 13-year cycle. It could be a 13,000-year cycle. But as we section these cycles off in 13 stages, there's a lot that we can discover and uncover in that process. So the Tzolk'in calendar, let's talk about that. The Tzolk'in calendar is a 260-day sacred calendar. Watch this. The Tzolk'in spiritual calendar of cosmic memory. So you can see it. It has the 20 archetypes on here, right? You see them down the left side. Now, these are also synonymous with the 20 dynamic frequencies of light in the galaxy. Also, we call it the galactic tree of light and life, right? And then along the right side, you see the 13 cosmic tones of creation, right? Now, tones or harmonics, right, affect energy. And the sacred geometry of sound is what brought the whole universe into existence through what we call the plasma universe model. It was the rang and not the bang that activated consciousness in an evolutionary fashion. All right. And so keeping that in mind, we call every 260 days a galactic spin, which is 20 wave spells. Now, 20 wave spells means that there are 20 13-day cycles in a 260-day, what we call a galactic spin. A wave spell is a cycle of evolution. So this 260-day cycle, right, takes you through 20 cycles of evolution. And each one is different. It's helping you evolve a different aspect of yourself. And if you take your time and really understand what's happening, you will feel like you're going slow, but everything around you will speed up with the power of your intention. So you can see we're on the serpent. You can see that's a green box around that. This red area where it says 157 all the way to 169, if you locate those, that's the 13-day cycle. This is the Earth wave spell. I'm going to show you that, where it's a cycle that evolves evolution. So that's very powerful. And then this other highlighted one right here is 165. You see that? 165, right? And so that's where we are, the Zocan calendar. And I'm going to tell you something else about this calendar. These green areas, all these green areas are portal days. And I used to didn't understand what the portals were. It used to say it's an intersection between galactic time and Earth time, and that's true. But here's what else I found out. They are portals into our cosmic memory. And what from this theory and from this perspective, it's not what you know, it's not what you learn, it's how you learn to remember what you already know. And let me tell you why this is key. Scientists say that we have over 100+ million years of memory stored in our cerebellum, in our brain. What are we doing with all that memory? Storing trauma? What we do, we don't have enough trauma to store in all that memory. There's not a computer on the planet that can store that kind of memory. And we sitting here walking around, and guess how much of it we're using? This is what really amped me up. The above average person is only using 100 years or less of the 100 million. That means that the above average person is not using 1/1,000,000th of our potential. This is how the system and governments can govern our mental and turn us against morals and ethics and universal law. What if we tapped more in to this 100 million years of memory and we became powerful beyond measure, not to control people, but to help this whole system evolve? Imagine what that would feel like. That's what we're doing here. Ashe? All right, Ashe. So here's what it looks like in the wave spell. In the wave spell, we start with the archetype. So this is the Earth wave spell. So guess what? We start with the magnetic Earth, right? So we have the magnetic Earth. Then underneath it, we have the lunar mirror. We have the electric storm. We have the self-existing sun, the overtoned dragon. We have the rhythmic wind, the resonant night. We have the galactic seed. And today we have the solar serpent. So all of these make up the expression of evolution. So the serpent holds the intention for evolving evolution. Remember, I said this is an evolutionary cycle. So if I tell you what the attributes of the earth is to evolve, synchronicity, and navigate. Those are the three traits. There's more, but the three basic traits of the earth, this evolutionary cycle, is to evolve, follow the synchronicity, by following the synchronicities, and navigate based on that. And that's how we evolve, right? This wave spell is a cycle of evolution that evolves. Evolution goes beyond it. All right. And so what it requires us with the power of our intention, it requires us to have the instincts to follow our instincts. They're telling us something. But oftentimes we don't want to listen to what it's telling us because something is uncomfortable or we don't like that. You know, we don't want to go there, do this, do that. But the instincts are telling us to do it and we don't want to listen. The intuition is telling us, and sometimes we just don't want to do it. Okay. So this is what it looks like, right? In the wave spell. Now, this is part of, we go back. This is part of what? Again, the Zolkin, right? This is just that red area right here, right? But we just made it look a little fancy by doing it like this. Now, this goes so much deeper, okay? Because as we get deeper into this, we can go into pulsars and different things that this wave spell is broadcasting from a sacred geometry and of sound, etc. Type vibe. All right. But for just right now, for the sake of this, you know, you want to know what wave spell your archetype is in. Okay. What your kin number is in. All right. So if you were kin 165, your kin number would be in the red earth wave spell, dealing with the evolution, right? The wave spell that deals with evolving evolution. All right. And so when we look at that, let's go to the next. So what you want to do is you want to locate your kin number on the Zolkin calendar. Take notes of its position, locate it daily, each kin, each time you go to the next kin. What is a galactic spin? You want to remember that because a lot of time we go in year cycles. Well, I've reduced the year to 260 days, right? 260 kin. And I'm looking at how much I evolve as I go through all the expressions of the creator versus how much I evolve going through a trip around the sun, 365 days. Okay. And so I'll tell you something else, a tip. You know, there's also something else that you want to learn about. And in learning about, you know, your kin and the tone, all right, you that's the beginning, right? You want to say that every day. But there's also another aspect of it. Let's go back, right? When we go back here, right, this is the kin in the middle, the destiny kin. But then there's 4 other pictures or glyphs around it. Now, when we come back next Thursday on what is that? The day after Christmas, right? We're going to talk about how these 5 bodies, we have an atmosphere of 5 bodies that support us, right? We have the one on the right, that's the physical body, the analog. We have the one on top that guides us, right? It's the spirit. The one on the left challenges us to remember. And when we remember, what we remember becomes our gift. And then the bottom one is our emotional body, the occult body, our hidden and unexpected factor. That's our turbo button, right? So you want to start working on your affirmation and finding out what wave spell you're in, because after you do that, we're going to show you about these 5 bodies. And it's really cool because if you have a physical ailment, you want to meditate on the physical body of your archetype and the physical body of that day, right? If you're having trouble or confusion, what is the spirit guide and what is the spirit telling me, right? If you are, you know, now trying on a new challenge, then now you got to remember how you already got past it, right? So you're going to focus on the mental body, right? And if you're feeling emotional, like sad or angry, you're going to focus. So we're going to show you that in detail. And so as you put these pieces together, you become a powerful force in this universe, on this planet, to orchestrate not just evolution, but bringing galactic consciousness on Earth. And there's all kind of signs that's happening in the age of Aquarius. There's the different cycles in the sunspots that the sun is going through. There's the alignment of all the planets. There's the communication between star Sirius and our sun and all the other planets. All of this is communicating in our consciousness to help us on a 5th dimensional level access it and evolve. And it's available to everybody. It don't matter what degree you got. It don't matter how many times you've been married. It don't matter how many children you got. It don't matter how many fathers. It don't It don't matter how many times you've been to jail. It don't matter how many times that you've gotten out. It don't matter none of that. And that's what the power of it is. All a journey of remembrance. And as we clear up our karma and we move forward on this trajectory, there's nothing we can't do. How do you get started? Well, here's what I would tell you to get on the fast track. Make a decision to evolve. Simple enough. If you can't do that, then you probably should, really look at your goals and question, is this something you're ready for? Okay. Step 2, register your kin. So you find your kin number out, register it on our site. Once you register it, we're going to invite you to a very exclusive meditation, right, on Kin 260, so you can be present with your kin number as we bring galactic consciousness to Earth. Number 3, all right, if your budget allows, become an I am member, infinitely aligned memory member, because that helps you access more knowledge, right, to self-study, to help you get up the learning curve faster. And you can go through the archives and you can listen and listen. A lot of it you won't understand off the back, because there's linear learning, which is kind of how we learn in our school systems. And then there's radialized learning. They're different. One is triggering your memory, and the other is teaching you something that you already know. We want to tap into that memory. Right. And then step 4, after you become an I am member, the first thing you want to do is review the law of time basics, so you understand the jargon and the perspectives that we're coming from. And I know people hadn't watched it when they don't ask me no questions. Like, what is a heptad? Why you call it that? They don't ask me no question. I know they ain't logged in. Right. All right. So with that, how to maximize the Synchronistic Human platform. Right. So between now and the next time we meet, man, you could have a whole library of stuff of understanding going on. Right. Become an I am member, receive email instructions. Once you become an I am member, you're going to receive the email instructions. Read instructions to log in. There may be a PDF and a video that you need to watch to make sure you understand it. It's quick. Okay, I know everybody wants it like in 1 second, but it takes a few seconds just to scan it and look at the video. It'll save you a lot of time, save you a lot of, how do I do this? You'll know, right? Click on the curriculum button when you log in to access the videos. A lot of people say it doesn't see any videos here because you got to click the curriculum button, all right? And as we go further with this, it gets simpler and simpler from a technology standpoint, but this is the way it is now. And it's worth it. It's worth clicking that button so you can tap into your psyche in ways you hadn't tapped into. Watch the LOT basics repeatedly over and over again, right? And memorize your galactic signature. We talked about that. All right. So the I am membership, there's just some benefits of this. Okay. It's $33 a moon. That's every 4 weeks. Somebody did something on TikTok that said, wait a minute. If there's 12 months and 4 weeks per month, how come it's only 48 weeks in a 12-month cycle, but it's really 52 weeks a year? People are starting to ask these questions. People are starting to say, wait a minute, why are we following this? People are waking up. So you don't have to wait till everybody tells you that this don't make sense for it not to make sense, right? So, there's a lot that you get access to. One of the things that I think with the monthly membership is you get 25% off classes. So I talked about classes earlier. You get 24/7 access to the student portal for any classes that you access. And you even get to access the past and future portals, what we just had, really powerful. Those that do the year membership, they're able to get 1 free class per year, and they're able to get 50% off of their classes. Okay. So that is great, because we have a lot of classes, and some people are going to take a little bit of classes and they're going to evolve a little bit. Some people are going to take a little bit more classes, a moderate amount of classes, they're going to evolve moderately. And then we have some people that are going to take a lot of classes and they're going to apply that knowledge and they're going to evolve into quantum leaps. You can go at the pace that you want to, all right? But the information is there for you to discover and to ask questions about, so you can operate more effectively. All right, let's go to level 2, the law of time basics. So some of the things we talk about is discrepancies with the Gregorian calendar. We talk about the 13 moon calendar and why it's effective, right? Why you need to be using it. Radioplasmas instead of days, because we're not in the days of the week. See all kind of material coming out on TikTok and social media now about these concepts and words that we use like mourning and things like that. We've been talking about this for 9 years, right? The destiny cross. That's the 5 bodies I was talking about. The heptads, right? The heptagon of mind, how to access the infinite mind wave. And there's more, integrating the new time, the power of the 13 moons, the importance of the law of time, remembering the hollow mind perceiver. These are all things. Now, these get a little bit more deeper, but it's available when you actually get on the membership, right? And then this Sunday, we're going to be talking about crystallizing your creativity. You know, energy factored by time is art in the 4th dimension. Energy factored by time is art. So what are you going to create, and how are you going to crystallize what you're creating so that people love it? They love your dedication to it, and it universalizes them into being inspired about your art to do their art. We're going to be talking about that. So you definitely want to be present for that session, right? And then mark your calendars, January 10th through February the 6th. We're going to be doing the Synchronistic Human 28-day cleanse, all right? So it's going to be powerful, right? Kin 187 to Kin 214, all right? And then you can follow us on social media at Neb_Taharka, right? On Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. We're there, right? And so the question is, do you have any questions? I went over a lot of information. You know, some of you may have been driving, may not have been able to take notes. We'll try to get this replay out to you so that you can go over this. But this is your introduction into galactic consciousness. And I've never seen something as orderly as this, as orderly as the synchronic order, the power of nature. All right. But I'm so excited about this and that we have this. So new people, if you're new to this, this is a great introduction. You won't understand everything. Great. Now they say the saying, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to choose a new circle. Well, you ain't going to be the smartest person in this circle coming into the game because this is new. All right. But you can be. But you listen, but then you're gonna create another circle. Because see, I don't know anybody's the smartest person in the galaxy, but you're going to find those entities and those energies that's smarter on this galactic level, that's going to inform you and help you equip yourself in ways that you hadn't seen yet. Okay? So if you don't have any questions, let me check on Instagram. I don't see any questions. Okay. All right. All right. So with that being said, this has been great. I trust that this has been very, very, very enlightening to you. And what we're going to do, we're not going to do testimonials on this session, but on our 4th session, right? So we'll have our session next Wednesday or Thursday, I should say. And then we'll have it on the next Thursday after that. And that next Thursday after that, we will have testimonials. So we'd love to hear your testimonials. We'd love you to memorize this and say, hey, man, when I memorize this, this is what happened. So we truly, truly are looking forward to that. Look here, one of the best gifts that can be given to you is to be able to exercise full authority over your whole mind with all of its faculties and dimensions. Man, once you got your whole mind, what you worried about? Because you can access everything now. There's nothing you can't access. So listen, I trust that everyone was able to get a lot of mileage out of this knowledge. And I look forward to being able to work with those of you. If you got questions, definitely email me or message me through IG so we can get your galactic signature, your kid number, all of that, and get you the understanding that you need to advance your life the way you want to advance it. And so I would say in Lakesh, I am another you. Alakeen, you are another me. Hotep, Hetepu, and Namaste. And remember, and never forget, evolution is the solution. Peace, family. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next time.
you remember the time when we were one with the sun and all the joy that we had? 'Cause in our hearts we were one. The point was focused on us, and we enjoyed this dream. In and out at our will, saturated auspiciously. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. We've been missing and missing and missing and missing and missing the point of who we are and why we came. And as this reality deceives us, we get caught and lose our aim. We get in the way of ourselves, and we dismiss the call. We get in the way of ourselves, and we make it so hard. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. So as we sit around and contemplate with the thoughts of the way it could be, and as we swing back and forth, one day we will awake from this dream and see that you are here as you have always been, guiding from a buried cemetery. And as promised through our evolution, one day we'll be free. People come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again. Star people come down, we are preparing to be with you again.